Hey everybody, this is Aaron Noe with windconductor.org, and I am online with Heather Hyde Wargo. Heather, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. I'm glad I can be here.
Yeah, so Heather is the head color guard director at Clear Creek High School in the Houston, Texas area. And on Friday, Ed Prosman was nice enough to talk to us about what he's doing up in Ohio with all the stuff surrounding the coronavirus and helping to mitigate its impact on our programs when our students are not in the classroom. Heather has a great program that she's put together open to anybody that wants to use it. And Heather, tell us a little bit about, first of all, tell us what you guys are dealing with at Clear Creek.
Absolutely. So we found out about 48 hours before our championship event, our area championship, that our season was done. And like so many people in the country, we had to deal with there's the shock and the disbelief and the disappointment from kids and parents, and us as instructors. We put a lot into this too. And so once the shock kind of wore off, the question was, okay, well, what next? So as we started looking at, potentially being away from the kids in terms of face-to-face for days, weeks, maybe even longer, we started thinking about, what can we really do to make sure that the things that we would be asking of them in terms of, expanding their knowledge and elevating the things that we've been teaching all year still get done and still get to be showcased for the kids.
Right.
So normally for us,
So,
no, go ahead.
yeah, no, just to clarify for everybody, because Texas has a lot of strong marching band programs, and you guys actually have a class for color guard
We
and
do,
winter
yeah.
guard.
Right. So our color guard meets a class period every day, year round. I have them for, by the time they change, change in and then change back out, I have them for about 50 minutes a day, every
Okay.
single day in class.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because not everybody is blessed with having that type of.
Right.
So,
Yeah, worked
uh,
many years where I did not have that kind of structure, but it's really nice once you have it.
yeah, but it does present a problem because there's lots of things happening right now. I mean, this is when directors across the US are starting to plan for their fall season, and getting those even with the color guard, this is when we start having the interest meetings, having the
Yeah,
preliminary rehearsals and stuff like that. If we don't have like a class established in the program, those after school programs are beginning to kind of start take off around this time frame in this
right.
March and April. So
Absolutely.
tell us a little bit about what you put together and to kind of help mitigate all that situation.
Sure. So the idea for us is to take what our students are used to, which is going into solo and ensemble season, just like band, just like choir, where they have a solo and they do it competitively, and to try to figure out a way for them to get there logically without us there to help them and guide them every day. So what we did was we started with our capstone project, which is the solo. Now, unlike, of course, band and choir, they compose it themselves, right? So they pick their music and they write their choreography and they have to do their staging. And normally we would meet in class and we would workshop it, and the kids would give each other feedback and they would try, okay, we'll take this 8 counts, and what if you went in a different direction? What if you faced a different way? What if you put more energy into it? Can you add something there to create more of a dynamic feeling? And I tried to figure out how to get them there really logically. So we started with just base technique, dance, flag, and rifle. And of course, if your program doesn't do rifle, if your program doesn't spend a whole lot of time on one of those elements, you can omit it really easily. But I started with just the basics. Here are the terms. Can you describe the terms? When I say do a drop spin, what am I talking about,
Yeah.
right? And then there are some pre-assessment exercises where they just record themselves. Okay, here's 16 drop spins with a metronome, and I'm, demonstrating good posture and good timing and all that. And it
Yeah.
works up through kind of the base technique all the way through. Okay, now I've demonstrated all the skills. Here's the solo that I choreographed myself.
Awesome. And you actually put together all this on as a PDF to send out to the kids, and you've got it online. And I wanted to show that to everybody also. So I'm going to do a quick screen share here. And you've got it on your site, which is the
Yep.
hwmusicandvisual.com, hwmusicandvisual.com. And you actually put together this color guard curriculum here.
Yes.
And just to clarify, you're letting anybody, if they can use this and utilize it, it's open to them. They can come here and get it.
Absolutely. Well, that's why I put it on the studio website. Is once my staff and I had finished creating this, we had a conversation just really honestly about how big of a resource this could be to other programs where you use some of it, all of it, submit it to your administrator. Here's our plan for the rest of the semester. And I thought that the way to do that most succinctly, to get it in one place where anybody could distribute it, is just to throw it up there on my studio website that I regularly maintain. So yeah, that link, as long as you have the link, it's open to you, and you can share it out with whoever you need to. If you want to send it to your kids, send it to your administrators, send it to your staff. It's free and available.
Yeah, and it looks great. I mean, there's so tell us a little bit in regard to this. How are you utilizing this with the kids while they're outside of the classroom?
Absolutely. So, and you'll get to it eventually, but you're almost to the page where it talks about what they have to do, right? So there you have your pre-assessment exercises. So they have to go through and demonstrate those skills in video, and they submit them. We use the Band app as our kind of communication platform, but whether you have Google Classroom or some other format where the kids can upload videos of themselves and then comment, that way they're still analyzing one another. They don't feel quite so disconnected from their peers. So they go through those pre-assessment exercises where they're really going through and just taking time to learn and apply technique. Or hopefully, in our case, since it's fourth quarter, polish technique that we've already taught them pretty successfully. And then that develops into the assessment at the end where they have to go, okay, here are the skills, and I'm going to define them, right? So you've got a writing component. So we're getting the writing across the curriculum piece that's so important.
Right.
Both handwriting and then typing it out so that they're memorizing it and they're getting those opportunities to really engage with the material. And then just doing it kinesthetically where they're acting out. And they get to choose, if they're not ready for some of the more advanced technique that we have listed, then they can choose the things that are a little bit more appropriate for them.
Awesome. No, this is great. This is fantastic. And, you know, making sure that they're staying up to date with the terms that you're going to be using,
Right.
whether it's, now during the classroom or whether it's looking at, going forward and stuff. So, and you've got a couple of different, you've got assessments and activities that they can do at home for each of these.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Right.
this
They
is
can do it
great.
in their backyard or the courtyard, or, some of them, they send me videos from them in their living room, as long as their parents are on board with that, you know. But yeah, there should be a lot of different things that they can engage right from where they are. They don't have to go to school. They don't have to go expose themselves potentially to the whole reason we have school out right now. And they can keep working and learning and growing.
That's awesome. And I like how you put in the expectations and the rubric by which they're going to be assessed as well.
Absolutely. These are documents that fortunately we've been using in my programs for quite a while now. I've been teaching Colorguard since the summer of 2005. And so don't do the math on how old that makes me. But I had a lot of these things already kind of fleshed out. And it just took taking time to really put it succinctly in, okay, what do we actually do? Okay, how can I clean up these documents and phrase it in a way that kids that are new to my program that haven't been through this process with me before can understand and they can access, and their parents know what I'm asking of them. Kids that have been doing it before with me, it's very familiar. And then programs that, hopefully are seeing this going, oh yeah, I can steal some of that. They don't have to spend a lot of time going, okay, now what did you want me to do? And how do I do this? Even down to these appendices where there's a short link right there where you can just click and have access to a Google Drive file. So all those worksheets pop right up as PDFs and you don't have to go trying to copy paste things and reformat them.
Awesome. Oh, right here.
Yeah, right there.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, this is great. This is fantastic. And, it is, it's, it's very generous of you to put that out to everybody. It's such a great resource, especially in this time where everybody is just wondering what in the world are we going to do?
Well, I talked to some friends of mine in the activity, both Colorguard and just straight band folks. And I said, I know that this is a service that I could reasonably charge for, and in another time of year or another social situation, it would be unheard of not to charge for it.
Right.
But one, we're all under a time crunch, and we're stressed out anyway, right? Just because of everything that's going on. And two, who has time to deal with, adding me as a vendor and going through the paperwork and be paid by the district? Like, no, don't worry about that. Let's just get this into your hands. Let's get you and your kids moving forward and feeling like you have a plan, so that no one's sitting around going, I don't know what to do going forward from here.
Right.
It's more important.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that, you said it. I mean, this has kind of smacked us all in the face very,
Absolutely.
very quickly. So I mean, it's great. It's a great resource, and of course, they've got all your contact information. And once they see what the great work that you're doing from a classroom perspective and helping them out, I'm sure they can reach you through the website also, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. And it's up on Facebook as a public post. So if you just, type my name into Facebook, it's right there. And my staff and I were happy to, if we need to elaborate something for you, we've got a plan next. Now that the curriculum's done, we're going to start working on compiling a video library. So, of course, kids of ours that have never touched a rifle before know what to do. But if that works for your program too, like, great. And we plan to make that completely publicly available as well.
Awesome. That's great. Well, on behalf of all the instructors that are out there trying to figure things out, thank you for providing this for everybody.
Of course, it's our pleasure.
So before we head out, is there any advice that you can give, what you've experienced, some, success stories other than the curriculum and everything? Any advice you give somebody that's maybe in school today, but looking at, a closure coming soon?
Absolutely. I think the advice on your last interview of just taking your stuff home at the end of the day is a big one. We had a window this morning that the teachers could be on campus very briefly to get whatever they needed. And of course, what did I do? I went in and I looked for any equipment bags that were still laying around and sent out emails. Hey, it's in my car. You can come pick up the keys. We'll Lysol you on the way in. You can get it out of the car. We'll Lysol you on the way out. But come get your equipment, right? Because there's not another way for them to do that right
Right.
now.
Right.
So definitely just being prepared and not being panicked, but being aware of what you need to have on you, and how you can keep moving forward and not letting this paralyze you.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Great advice. Well, Heather, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you again for providing this for everybody. It's such a great service.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, sir.
All right.